We're on?
You want to introduce me?
Yes, Zach.
Talk to the camera.
Zach, Clip Commander, the master, is helping me out with the first podcast. So, with no further ado, the man, the legend, Zachary. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, good sir.
Fucking thank you.
No worries.
We turned it quickly, this little
Yeah.
granny flat.
I came in here and it was a interesting place, but we've made it into a nice little situation now.
Yeah, we're on air with a butterfly. Moved a bit of the chairs.
Yeah. These are great chairs, by the way.
Yeah, second-hand shops in Tweed.
Nice. I recently did a podcast for someone else and they had one chair and I was like, you're going to need the same chair. And she's like, fuck, I bought this online for a lot of money. I'm like, well, you're going to have to buy another one. And she did. Meanwhile, beautiful chairs for cheap.
Yeah, grandpa chairs.
Grandpa chairs. King chairs.
King chairs.
Couple of kings here.
Yeah, it feels good. So how many podcasts are you doing right now? So a bit about you, it's that local, born, bred, Lismore.
Yep.
Soccer player.
Soccer player that loves getting injured.
Yes, that's the funnest part about soccer, is getting injured. It's an excuse not to play. The best excuse.
I'm looking for another kick, but I'm worried. I heard there's a good kick happening maybe on a Tuesday or Thursday at the Cavern Bar Centre.
On a Thursday.
Super
fun. All the internationals, 15 versus 15, or 10 versus 10.
Crazy.
Or 9 versus 9, or 20 versus 20. Depends how many people show up. Everyone's
so no
welcome.
subs.
No subs.
Really?
It's just
That sounds
whoever.
like mayhem.
Yeah, it's super fun though. I play there.
And is it the one that you pay $5?
Yeah, $5. And at the end we have a beer, smoke.
Cool.
Super cool people. So the whole international crew of Byron. It's been doing it for years.
Are Australians allowed there though?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay.
We allow Australians.
Okay, just one every week.
One, yeah. Okay. One or two. One on each team.
I'll have to book in.
Fair few Israelis.
RSVP.
Yeah, we'll reserve you.
Okay.
But yeah, Adam that worked at the...
Yeah. I know Adam.
So yeah, he plays there all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oren's friend, the one that works at the ice cream shop.
I know Adam very well.
Yeah.
He...
Dated your sister?
No. He helped me with my back because he's an osteopath.
Yes, he's an osteopath.
He's helped me with all my soccer injuries.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's super good.
Shout out to
Adam.
Not Black Adam.
No, White Adam.
White Adam.
Yes, there's two Adams. There's Black Adam and White Adam. Both Israelis. But yeah, it's good. So you play soccer. You do film, design, editing, work on a lot of local stuff around here.
Yeah.
Recently did something that went into this award thingy with Adele, or we're not allowed to mention her name.
Of course we can mention her name.
Can mention her name. Yeah, so tell us a bit about how many, you're doing a podcast with the Byron Top G, Gleb.
Yep. Top G, Gleb.
Top G, Gleb in Byron Bay.
It's been a year now. Actually, it was interesting because it's been a year since the attack on Israel, and that was the first time that I hung out with Gleb before we did the first podcast.
Okay.
And yeah, no. Actually,
I think you've done a few before.
no, we had done a few because I remember now. We did. It was like the third one, I think, or the second one, and it unfolded as we were filming. Because Gleb was his phone was going off, and he's like, something's happening in Israel. My Israeli WhatsApp's blowing up, and no pun intended.
Now, we love blowing shit up or getting shit blown up in our country. It's so good. We're world renowned for beepers blowing up now.
Okay.
So watch your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, and also like walkie-talkies blow up.
Yes,
Yeah.
everything blows up in Israel.
Okay.
The music
And
scene.
Lebanon.
And
Yeah.
it's close enough, you know.
Yeah.
It's ricochets.
So, yeah, that was unfolding, and then we finished up, and he was like, just didn't really know what to do, and he didn't, I don't know, he was just in shock. So I was like, didn't really know him heaps well, but I was just like offering my support, and I was kind of hanging out with him in town because he was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is weird. I'm like, should I go out? Everyone's getting killed in my country. So we decided just to go back to his, and like, I drove him back to his house because he was like just talking like nonstop. But that was a year ago now. We've done about 10 episodes, very sparsely. Some of them are pretty hilarious, a lot of them.
Yeah, Gleb is a funny guy. Yeah. If he knows it or doesn't know it, he's a very funny guy.
Yeah. He's actually a good host.
Yeah, speaks well.
Speaks well, sharp, witty, and makes people feel comfortable. And like we recently had a guest that doesn't have a leg. He's like our age. He's French. They met each other in the...
Also lost it at the war in Israel?
No, something. I think he tells people different stories, but it was like literally cancer.
Oh,
when he was like 25, and he had to get his leg taken off. But Gleb's a really honest, straight up person, and he didn't just pretend that he didn't have a leg missing. He's just like, what happened to your leg? Straight away.
Very Israeli.
Yeah.
Very Israeli.
And he really liked that because a lot of people pretend not to see it, like, hey, and then he's just like, it's okay, like, it's fine, like, I got one leg, but like people just like don't want to like say anything to him about it. So when Gleb was like, what the hell happened to your leg, bro? Why do you have one leg?
Very unpolitically correct.
Yeah. He liked that, and then all throughout the podcast it was like digs at this guy non-stop.
That's cool.
But he fucking loved it because everyone is too scared to, be gentle, and he's just like, come on, like, it's okay, lighten up.
No, we Israelis are definitely not like that. As you can see, we're doing a podcast and smoking a cigarette while we're doing it, so no one can get fucked. Cigarettes are bad. Do not smoke. Whoever sees this at home, soon be off.
Yeah, so I do that one with Gleb. I've been doing one with a girl from the gym. Her name is Sonata.
Okay, what's that podcast about? I'm guessing it's not about mathematics and finance.
No, it's about, what's it called? Soulful meetings or something like this, and it's like really deep stuff. It's like the opposite to Gleb.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I'm getting the best of both now.
Okay.
Gleb, I get to like have fun and laugh at some ridiculous stuff.
You should turn it into more of a jackass, Gleb at his house, and it's like...
Yeah, I don't know.
She does soulful, so it's like more spiritual people come on and more like community-based talks of people, what they do in the community, or it's just friends from the gym.
Like, I shot the episode the other night, and it was like this beautiful model girl friend of hers, and they were talking about like eating disorders, and I was like, all right, we're just jumping straight in.
Do they have eating disorders, both of them, or they dealt with it in the past?
They've both dealt with it badly.
Yes, it's a
I think it's a taboo subject that no one talks about with girls, you know.
No, because today you have body affirmation,
Yeah.
fat's the new skinny, skin is the new fat, body positivity, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's a real head, like batter your head in the wall type of things with women, you know, because it's a contagious disease.
Yeah.
A lot of studies about it, that if it's bulimia or anorexia, like if a girl in a group gets it, a lot in that group will start
Mm-hmm.
becoming, it's contagious, it's a
Yeah.
social contagious disease.
Yeah.
And then it's it's, as I said, taboo subject. It's pushed aside because today it's you're not allowed to spot out something that's harmful for you. You have to admire it, in a sense. You know, it's a kind of a fucked up world we're living in.
Yeah.
So those two podcasts, and what filming you're doing recently, like any short films, any ads? You used to do the ads for the Renegade music underground scene in Byron Bay.
I'd love to do more.
We need more of it. Like the warehouse is shut down and
Yeah.
the French resistance has broken up.
Yeah, he's been sent to
Napoleon.
the island.
Yeah, Napoleon's been sent to the island. He's been marched off.
Napoleon, if you're hearing this, please come back.
We need good music.
Come back from the island.
We need good events.
Been banished.
He's been sent off from the island to an island.
Yeah, that's kind of like my favorite thing to do. Is some sort of promotional video that tells a story in such a way that, you know, it's like all these different aspects of the festival, of the event. So with that particular one, we had the
I think it was a Chinese New Year or something like
Yeah.
that. And you guys went into town dressed as in cultural appropriating Chinese costume and doing kung fu fighting, which was ridiculous
yeah,
at the beach. It was really good. It's a great promo
Yeah.
for I missed out on it. I think I was away. I missed out on that party.
That's a shame. It was party of the year for me.
Yeah, I heard it was really
But it was party of the year just because I felt a sense of belonging.
okay.
Because me, Pierre, and Napoleon, we like had a meeting, and then they told me like their ideas, and it's very rare. Unfortunately, it's very rare for me to like get inspired like the way I did with them, and I just like went crazy. I'm like, we could do this.
Another culture with zero politically correctness, you know, the French.
The French, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh man,
Love it.
I could suggest anything.
Yeah.
Like one of my funniest suggestions was like, let's put up subtitles
In Chinese.
in Chinese that just say "fuck off,"
No, it's great.
and like, you wouldn't be able to. You don't know what it says, but if you like somehow worked it out, it wouldn't make sense to what the situation was, because, you know, the person was like nodding, like smiling, and I was like,
That is great. You know,
"Fuck off."
It's like the people that get a Chinese tattoo. And the thing, it's like warrior son, and it's like dog shit or something.
Yeah.
You know, like it's you don't know what you're putting on your body.
That's true. That's hilarious.
Yeah, there was so many stories of that. You know,
Uh.
like, it's like, oh, this warrior, or this is the son of love, and it's like Chinese person is like, nah, man, it just means dog shit.
That's hilarious.
Some water from a coffee,
Some clear coffee.
clear coffee.
Yes, we serve clear coffee on this podcast.
This is a legit bachelor pad. No woman has been here for a while. They're not so much welcomed around this time.
Only taken women.
No, them neither. Kind of going through a celibacy month this month. Kind of called it quits on the women.
Yeah, you been fighting them off, or?
Nah, like not fighting them off, but I think it's more about like not searching for them, or I think that's like, or the same thing, like no porno, no masturbation, or like, so it's like in the so-called spiritual world, it's like owning up your chi and containing your chi, or for us men, it's there where our balls are at, and it's just like a God force, our essence. It's like very powerful. Even I think fucking Mike Tyson talked about it that before, like when he was young and he was like straight on into his fights. He's like, he was not having sex.
Yeah.
After the fight, I'm holding all that energy.
Life force.
Yeah, all the life force, exactly.
The different chakras as well.
Yeah.
Underneath the
root chakra.
Gooch.
Yeah, that's the root chakra.
Yeah.
So it's,
I used to do a meditation where you had to like cross your legs in a particular way where one of your heels was touching that, and it was kind of like this connection.
Yeah, creating a circulation of energy within your body.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We were going to shoot a video. We are going to eventually, once I get back from my spiritual awakening adventures, just having fun in Bali. For my
pseudo hippie.
Yeah, pseudo hippie. I'm a conservative hippie, if that makes any sense. I'm a Republican hippie. No abortion, but free world. free like drugs and alcohol and whatever, but very conservative type of person. But yeah, for my rolling paper club, 420 rolling club, I do rolling papers and sell them around here, and we have a fun concept that eventually we're gonna do.
That was another project that sparked me.
Yeah, we were gonna do it.
It's just like, this is really pushing the limits here.
Yeah, it's great. We'll figure it out. I promise you, we'll do it. We'll get it done. I want to do it as well, just for the funs of it.
Oh yeah, but we can start smaller. Like, we don't have to go for the full. Like, we can do the small little mini series ones with like the
running down the street when it's raining.
Yeah, that stuff. And I just got a new camera.
We'll do it
yesterday, so
we're gonna do it.
It's perfect for this type of stuff.
We'll do it in December. We'll get back. We'll do it. Even we'll find somewhere that has a hemp farm and do some chopping and bring some social media influencers to be butt naked in the background while they're picking up the hemp.
Because they failed at Instagram.
And having someone take a shit and wipe his ass with the rolling paper.
Yeah, the bleach rolling papers.
They're raw and OCD because they're like shit. No, we have a good script. We got down.
Me, you, and someone else.
Me, you, and AI.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the new theme. It's like, me and my AI have been chilling out. Have you seen the new Elon Musk expo of the robots and cab?
And the cars?
Oh my god.
He was so nonchalant about it. He's like, so everyone's going to have a robot.
At least one.
At least one. And we're going to be introducing this new car. No steering wheel. It's like you just wouldn't believe, like, it's just really strange, You get in there and it's like, okay.
I'm in for a ride.
Well, I was talking to my co-worker today at the studio. And
Which studio is that?
Cause Studio.
Okay, you work at Core Studio?
Yeah, I'm there full time.
What do you do at Core Studio?
I just set up a desk and edit.
Okay.
I pay
So it's like a co-working
space.
You made it? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I've been there for like 4 months.
Okay,
That's why I could have the party
because you're part of it.
for free.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it would be like, I don't know, $1,000 to hire it out.
And how much are you paying monthly for the co-working space?
$650.
650 a month.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
like $160 a week-ish.
okay. Instead of having an office, that's.
Yeah, well, it's really,
And how many are you there?
it's just like 2. Like, it's like the dopest king pin pad ever.
Yeah,
It's
pretty,
like
it's pretty
so
dope.
dope.
It's pretty dope.
Like, yep, it's strange walking in there. Like, even a lot of the time I could be there by myself. Like next week, Tony, he's going to Melbourne tomorrow because he's like fucking top tier projectionist,
Yes.
and he's flying down to Melbourne. He's got all these gigs lined up. He gets paid crazy money.
Well deservingly. Like all
Oh,
the lighting and projections at music places and shows. It's
Well, he set up like crazy mapping in like a particular venue where there's like all the walls are all got projectors on it looking down, and it's really good for like conferences and events and like what else, like showcasing things. So this one's for like a jewelry person shop or something.
doing an expo or something.
Something like that. And so he's had to map all of the jewelry on each wall because like it's like a rectangular place, and that means like everyone can be looking in different directions at like, instead of like, oh, I can't see, it's like everyone can see because it's just everywhere.
Okay.
So, and he's got a few of those types of shows. But yeah, I was telling him about Elon Musk. He's like, dude, this is going to be sick. Like, I can just like be with my girl, just getting it on and just on the way to like somewhere. And I don't have to drive.
Technically, you can do it with the Teslas now, with the self-driving Teslas now. Oh, we got an alarm going on. Yes, so I have daily affirmation alarms. It's part of this thing I'm gonna start doing. Gonna create this program, 21 day enter and maintain a state of flow sort of program that I'm using. It's helped me in the past, a lot of things. It's like a salad of my life of getting things on track, and
Yeah.
one of them is having like using a phone to be used and not being used by your phone.
Yeah.
So it's like
nice.
morning alarms, affirmation alarms, reminders of to do things, and then like the fucking iPhone alarms are so annoying. Like they come out of nowhere. Doesn't matter if you're silent or not. If the phone's on, it's ringing. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the 7:30. Wrap up the day. Have a good day. Tell yourself you love yourself in the mirror. Affirmation.
Yeah.
Type of thing. And yeah, so
It all adds up.
it does. You know, like, do you like when you brushing your teeth or combing your hair or putting gel, like spend a few moments in front of the mirror, like just tell yourself I love you.
No.
It makes a huge difference.
Mm.
And like the more you do it, it's like your self-confidence comes on, your feelings about like the day is better. It's like you're entering, like when it's a powerful thing when you're speaking into a mirror and you're seeing yourself, and like you're not, a lot of people, like even when they brush their teeth, they're not really looking at themselves, you know, let alone
Yeah.
like speaking. So it's like you're kind of talking to yourself.
Yeah.
And like it's a very powerful tool to reprogram your subconscious, especially like using your weak hand. So like usually you brush, let's say for example, if your right hand your teeth, so like change to your left
Yeah.
and say 10 affirmations in the morning.
Are you saying it like in your head?
In your
Oh,
head,
what?
and in your head, yeah, and also out loud, like but also
I
you
love
can
you.
say, yeah. yeah. It's ridiculous, you know. It fucking looks and sounds, but it's powerful. And like forcing yourself every time you walking in the street or any mirror that you're engaged in, having a stare at, like to have a positive affirmation to say about self.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just pointing out something nice about
Yeah.
yourself.
Like, you look great today.
Yeah.
I love you. Like,
Yeah.
you're beautiful. You're talented. You're smart. Whatever it is, and it's just like our brain doesn't really pick up that it's you. It feels like it's getting it from an
Yeah.
outside source.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Kind of tricking your brain.
Yeah, you're tricking yourself. Exactly. It's like a
Nice.
matrix hack
Yeah.
to self affirmation in the mirror.
Yeah, because we all have these stories about ourselves from like childhood and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. And most likely we're 80% of the time just focused on the negative.
Yeah.
It's just how our brains are wired. It's just focus on the problem and what to worry about and just going down those rabbit holes in a sense. And it's
Yeah, I even like automatically, and this is like my own, I catch myself out doing it, but it's hard to not realize it before. But if someone texts me, I might think it's like a bad thing.
yeah, the anxiety before it takes like what did they do? What's going
Yeah.
on? You know, like
Yeah.
what do they want from me? Leave me alone. Like
Like my housemate's like, hey, like, and I was like, shit.
like you straight away, like because you know, like everyone knows what they're not doing well. Like
And then she's like, oh, like I'm like, yo, and she's like, I'm just at the op shop, like, what do you think of this table? And I'm like, what was I thinking?
they're like in panic, you know. It's like I forgot to do the dishes, you know. Like did I leave the bathroom a mess?
Yeah, I think it was something to do with, in my head I was like, what have I left something out in the house, or like,
But
was
you
I
know,
too
you probably
noisy?
did. You like that's the thing. It's like we can't hide from ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like if those shit come up, it's like for me when that happens as well. Like I also have that like phone calls or texts, you know.
Yeah.
And then after the text, after the phone calls, like what did I think it was about? Okay, I'm gonna actually go deal with that because it's on my mind.
Yeah, it's like your conscious coming up.
Yeah, it's like it's
not
an
a-
alarm.
It's not a full, you don't have a clear conscious, that's why it came up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for me, I know my clear conscience around the house is like, just really silly things like, recycling. So like,
he knows
I
the
remember-
biggest bullshit.
I remember I like went to put the recycling in, but it was just like too much, and then it went on the other side, and I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. And then the next time I looked, it was like gone, and I was like, but then they it got taken out, and then the rubbish that was underneath was like just there, just that.
So
bit.
someone at the house noticed after they took the
Yeah.
rubbish out.
I was like, damn it. And I was
Yeah.
like, in my head, I'm like, fuck, I probably should just get that. And I was like, oh, it'll be right.
And
I'll-
it's not your mom's house that you can just be like, mom will pick it up.
Yeah. There's super little dumb things. Like
They add up.
yeah.
You know, like when you're living with other humans that are not your siblings, even with your siblings, it adds up, but you're just so used to it that, you know, you can sort of fight it out in a sense. But when you're living with complete strangers that you just met, you know, and those little things, like for you could be little, but for them could be like massive.
What you mean? They might think it's a big thing, not putting in the effort to like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be like a big trigger for them.
yeah.
You know, because like they're probably not looking at themselves. And again, like if we want to talk about triggers and shit, like they're probably doing a lot of other shit that they're not noticing. But
Yeah.
in their head, like in their head or our head, it's like when something that you didn't do is done to you, it just like ignites this whole like fucking cunt, why messy, throws his rubbish everywhere, does not clean up. I have to clean up after him, and he left the cup in the sink and the plate on the table, and you know, and And it's like, for you, it's like, man, sorry, it's like, you know, it's a cup, plate, and piece of rubbish. You know, it's 3 things. And, you know, it's not this big deal. I was going to do it tomorrow or, you know, or something like
Gonna
that.
do it next week. Come
And
on.
you're like, I do everything in the house. I clean up after you.
I've lived with people like that.
Oh, that's why I don't live with, except my family now that I'm sort of living with. I cannot live with other people unless they're females.
Well, the thing is, this girl, I don't know her from a bar of soap, and
Sorry? Bar of soap?
yeah, it's an Aussie
What was
saying
it saying? Okay. You don't know her,
from a bar of soap. Like I've never
met her,
I don't know
knew
anything
her.
about her.
Okay. Yeah, Aussies
We-
don't shower.
I moved in, and that's when I met her. When we're like moving my stuff in, I'm like, oh, hello, nice to meet you, new housemate that I've never met. Like, well, here we go.
And how is she? Not
Well-
talking shit. We don't want to talk shit about her, but you can if you want to.
No, but I've got no shit to talk about.
Okay.
And
Good human.
funnily enough, this might sound funny, but she reminds me of me.
That's great.
Which she's really considerate and like thoughtful, and she says like good night, which I love in a household.
Yeah, 'cause
But like other places I've lived in, everyone just disappears, and I'm like, where's everyone gone? Are they asleep or? And
yeah,
I'll-
it's like I'm in my own world. Fuck you.
well, I don't know. It's a really nuanced thing, but I just like that because it makes me feel like I'm in a family vibe rather than like, you know, you might be having a conversation and then they might go into their room and go to sleep, and I'm like, oh, we were like having a big conversation.
It's like, fuck you. I'm out of it. I'm going to go into my little funnel of iPhone time.
Yeah, and like each their own, but it was just nice to that's some sort of alignment there in housemates, because it's only me and her. It's a funny one. Her and I.
Just 2 of you living together?
Yeah,
2 bedroom or 3 bedroom?
2 bedroom.
2 bedroom. Big salon, like living room, big kitchen.
Yeah,
Whereabouts in South, like, so you just moved to South Golden
yeah.
after you were living at this sanctuary property for a few years after the floods.
I was living there for over 2 years at the sanctuary, and then I moved to my friend's house
Middle pocket.
at the Middle Pocket. None of them said goodnight.
Nah, middle pocket people don't.
And it was a funny one, a little bit off track. I remember bringing that up with my friend, but it wasn't about him. It was about my other housemate. I was like, "What? Where did Jed go?" Like, "Oh, he just kind of disappears." I'm like, "I don't know about that." Like, I like it's nice to say goodnight
Yeah,
to if you're like all hanging out.
for sure. Like, I completely understand. It's like also saying good morning.
Yeah,
You know-
that's the same thing this morning.
You wake up in the morning, it's like...
Like my door's open, I'm clearly awake, and she's like, "Good morning." I'm like, "Oh, that's so nice."
That is, it's just, that, like you said, it shows of someone being a considerate type of person. Like, I acknowledge you.
Yeah.
I'm going away. I acknowledge you.
Yeah.
You know, I've entered this space. I'm acknowledging you.
Yeah.
It's
Rather than like doing your own thing and not saying anything.
completely. You've seen me. Like, of course you've seen. You know, or even if you haven't seen me, like, you know, like,
We're all aware that we're both awake.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and it's a very Australian thing not to say though. You know, I find that here in Australia, like, even a lot of times here in Byron Bay, in this area, Malambimbi, you know someone. You've had a chat with them before. You know of them.
Yeah.
You've hung out. Probably did a line, drugs, alcohol, whatever with them. You know, chilled with them. But you could literally walk right past each other. And for me, it's like not an ego thing. Like, she's not saying, or he's not saying hello. I'm not gonna say hello. But kind of got to understand and used to that. That's sort of the culture here, and not acknowledge one another. Like, I know you. Like, we talked like a week ago. You know, like we've had a chat. You know, and in Israel, It's the opposite. You
Yeah.
could probably not have. You probably met this guy like 2-3 years ago, for 5 minutes, and had a chat for 5 minutes. Not even a week ago, a month, or they're in the same friend group like here. Like you have a friend in their friend group, and they got a friend in your friend group, and so
Yeah.
on. In Israel, like met this guy 5 years ago for 5 minutes. You see him by the streets, like, hey, how you doing? What's up? What's new? How are you? Like, no way you're going to like ignore each other. And
And what? So let's say you're at the Mullah markets.
so many people
Just kind of walking
by.
through.
Yeah, and I love sitting there. I've got my own seat at the markets and my breakfast and watching the music and people watching. It's my favorite time of the week in Malam. And people, just walk by, and I know you. Like we just danced last week at this party, or we hung out
Yeah.
at the pub, or like nah.
Yeah, well, sometimes there can be other reasons, but if your judgment is over generalized, then yeah, it's fair to say that.
Yeah, of course.
From a
it's,
general perspective, like some people might, but most
Most won't. If you're not in their little posse group, hang out all day, you're non-existent. Even though they know you. And I think that also comes to the thing, like you're saying, they're not saying good night or good morning. It's like you don't exist.
Well, like how many? I don't know if you can say it's Aussies because it's
I'm saying
Malam's-
I've
Mullum is just like everyone from every country and together.
mainly Australians.
So it's just the Australian ones.
Like again, it's the culture here. Again, from school and stuff like that. And I know people here that I went to school with, and this and so on, and with them a bit less, but in general, the collective norm here is affected by. But also, like I think it's a very Australian thing, that if he's not like a brother or a sister, not like blood related, like you're not really gonna go out of your way and like even nod and say hi.
Yeah, I think it's like it can be also like a anxiety provoked thing, just like in your head too much, like, oh, should I say hello? Or I don't know. And then it's just like, rather than living in the moment, like, hey, they're just like,
I really don't know.
just like, oh yeah, that's Ma'o.
I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to acknowledge him. I didn't see him. It's like, and it's it happened to me with like people that like lived in the house with me. They just walk by like in the street, and like I know you noticed me. Like, I'm not gonna go say hello because you're not, but an ego thing. But like, why aren't you saying like even like I'm looking at you like.
I sometimes get that with like old friends, like
That's weird.
from like 10 years ago, but then I push myself through it.
Yeah,
Like, I know this guy since I was like 14 years ago, back in when I grew up in Lismore, and we're totally different people. But I'm back in his hood in Lismore, and I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna recognise me. Let's go say hello.
Yeah, I think that's how it should be done. Like
Yeah.
we're all fucking humans at the end of the day, and it's like saying good night, good morning. It's fucking important, and even just acknowledgement, just saying hello. Like, because I think on the other hand, like Australians are known to be overly nice. You can start having a chat with a complete random on the street from like just saying hello,
Yeah.
how are you, and everyone's like smiling, good, how are you, what's and you can have like a complete chat. But it's a very Anglo-Saxon thing, I think. Like Americans as well. When I was in America, like, yeah, let's catch up. That means we're never going to talk again. I swear to you. Like in New York, I used to live in New York, and it's just like at the end, I'm like, wow, yeah, this was super fun. Yeah, let's catch up again. And it's like, okay, we're never going to see each other. Like you're not going to text me, and even if I text you, you're not going to answer.
Yeah. That's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
That's usually like a way to like end the conversation, which is like the total opposite of what it should mean.
Yeah, like don't tell me let's catch up. Like, have a good day. It's great. It's nice to see you. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
Like that's also polite, you know. You don't have to like overpromise something that's never gonna happen, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of rude in a way.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah,
It's misleading.
completely. And I think that's the thing with in our modern day culture, in a sense, it's like people are trying to be over, and it just makes it worse.
Nice guy syndrome. Nice person syndrome.
Nice guy syndrome.
Nice.
Yeah, all. What was
Nice they them.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. This is the first one. We're not going to get into it. We'll have a complete podcast about my thoughts of delusional personality syndromes. But the road, there's a thing. I don't know. I think what's his name said it, but I don't think it's his quote. Alan Watts, but he said it, but I don't think it's his quote. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Say that again.
The road to hell
Yeah.
is paved with good intentions.
Ah.
So like, you know how you're trying to help someone, you have good intentions, but it just backfires completely wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So like when
Yeah.
you're overly trying to be goody-goody and good, nice guy, nice person syndrome, you're actually making it worse. It's better to be, like you said, like in the beginning, you know, Gleb, what the fuck happened to your leg?
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh, how you been? Great. It was a nice day today to walk out. Oh shit, sorry, I didn't mean to. You know, it's like...
It was funny, I had like this big debate with a friend who really disliked Gleb and what he said on a podcast about a girl that he got on Tinder that came to his house. And when she arrived, the first thing he said was like, "What? You don't look like anything like you did on Tinder." And then she's
That's
like,
the thing.
And then she's like, "So," and she's like, "Should I go?" And he's like, yes, I would like you to go.
I love that.
And yeah,
He's not trying to marry her. He's on Tinder. He's trying to have sex. You know? Like, obviously, it's not like this is a blind date that his auntie set him up with same stereotypes that he likes, you know, and she sold him. Like, this girl is at fault for selling him false advertising.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
like the guy from Optus that I asked for a Pro, Max, this, that, and he just gave me a Max iPhone, but we'll figure it out later.
But yeah, I think the brutal truth, there's a lot of beauty in it.
Huge.
Because giving people a chance to like make a choice based off the truth rather than like feeling led on and then feeling like my expectations weren't the way the way I thought they would go and like all this sort of stuff. If you're just like upfront with them.
100%.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I hate when people lead me on or try to lead me on. I try to catch it. Like straight away. Like,
yeah.
Especially girls. I'm just like, sorry, I'm unavailable.
Yeah.
I'm the straightforward one.
Yeah.
I'm unavailable. It's crazy, man. I definitely prefer like the straightforwardness rather than all that crap. I mean, especially this area, like, you know, we were talking about it before. It's like, yeah, we live in this paradise bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck, man, right here, I see a lot of miserable people. A lot of like people that are like completely lost.
Yeah.
And I think I get it why like you get lost in this area.
Yeah.
And people that are trying to, again, overly nice to fit in, you know, and like no backbone.
Yeah, so you can be wandering forever because you don't know who you are really.
And it changes every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday, you're a new character.
Every Friday at this ecstatic dance.
Oh, I love it. I love it, ecstatic dance. It's the best thing. I'm on a sober year. Like, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
I'm honest, man. I did, like, at the beginning, I was also like, you know, when I was doing lots of K and MD and Coke and just having fun. I don't think I could go to ecstatic dance.
Yeah.
High, you know? Maybe on mushrooms. Like on microdose of mushrooms could be fun. But when you're sober, from my experience now with it, and you go to those other events that you used to go high, you also have the same thing. You also stop drinking and
Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
And doing stuff, you know.
Like I was working last Friday and Saturday. And
What events were on?
there was a private event, and then there was like a immersive collective or something.
Oh yeah, Mo
was playing there,
Mo's one.
but he didn't play.
No.
He pulled out for some reason, but there was just like a bunch of DJs playing. Anyway, like I was working. Wouldn't matter if I wasn't working because I'm just sober, and I was like chatting to some people, and I'm like asking them questions and like getting in a conversation, and I was like, you know, I think I asked some like a question that needed a bit more brain power, and then they were just like, bro, like I'm on that much coke, I cannot process it. And I'm like, and
I can talk about bullshit for hours, but I can't get into depth.
like, sorry, I'm like on a lot of coke right now. I'm like, all right, I wonder, I think he had no idea I was sober.
They don't assume that.
Yeah.
You know, like at those events, like no one assumes that. They might not assume that you're on drugs, but at least you're having a few drinks.
Yeah, at least.
For me as well, man, I was going to those events, especially at the beginning, because I didn't want to stop sort of my life. Okay, I'm sober, so I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Still, I'll go. You know, you saw me at those events and participating, but the conversations, and you just really feel the wavelength off.
I know.
Like you're not on the same
I know.
energy level or wave. I don't want to say high or lower, like I don't want to, you know, but you're definitely on a higher level of energy compared to most people. Yeah, you're clearer, you're
sharp.
You're
I know, I remember I was at an event.
And girls just become so unattractive. Because or humans in general, they're just like, what are you doing with yourself, mate? And it's like, I was like that 2 weeks ago, but like, what are you doing with yourself? like, dude, like, wake up! You're almost 40 years old, and you're from one event to event.
Yeah, I was in the bathroom on the weekend, like tidying up some like broken porcelain cup in the bathroom. I was like, what the hell? I ain't getting paid for this.
Yeah, but you're like, yeah, go.
And then this dude comes in, he's like 50, or he looked 50.
At least.
And he was like, I remember him coming in to the venue, and he like pulled out a $50 note. He's like, shit, better dust this off. Here you go. And I'm like, thanks. He's so open about it. And then I went to the bathroom like at the end of the night, and I came out, and then he went in and he yelled out, oh no, I could hear him like snorting. Like, and he came out and he's like, fuck man, I'm getting too old for this, eh?
You don't say.
And I'm like, you even did the fake flush, bro. You know, like, we go into the top.
You finish snorting and then you flush, so you pretend that you did something there. Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. He didn't piss.
Yeah.
Didn't do a shit.
Did
the line, then flushed. And I called him out. He's like, yeah, I guess it's just a habit.
There's no security guard outside, mate. You know, there's
it's
no
just me.
Yeah.
And you're pretty open about doing drugs. Yeah.
You give me a 50, I don't even work here. I'm not a toilet cleaner. You know, like I'm not the cleaner. Great tip, thank you.
Yeah.
That's great. Maybe I should start doing that, going to events and cleaning up the bathroom, get paid. That's a good gig.
Yeah.
Fuck, in America, they make a ton of money. You been to America?
Yeah, I've been there a couple times.
So in New York,
Only on the West Coast.
okay, West Coast is fun, but New York is just it's hell on earth in a good way. Like all your desires are there to be matched and over exceed. And at the bathrooms and clubs, you have a person in the bathroom that has cigarettes, chewing gum, napkins, and you need to tip him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you give him like $2 or $3 and you can take a single cigarette and chewing gum. And if you want to go in with a girl, you give him like $10, $15
Really?
and lets you in. Yeah, like it's all about that. Like,
Yeah.
Even security guards, like if you want to get into a place without the selector or that, you find the head bouncer and give him a 50.
Yeah.
If you don't know anyone in New York and you want to get into places, go to the bouncer, give them like a 50 or 100, and they'll let you in.
It's funny you say that because in Byron, one of
The opposite.
one of Gleb's podcasts, he had a RSA marshal type of security guard dude on the podcast, and he told us the secret: if you want to get into a club,
In Byron?
skip the line,
Yeah.
bring them a hot pie, because they can't leave to go eat, and they're usually like hungry.
Okay.
And you bring them a pie,
Noted.
and they're just like, it's like you bringing a hot chick.
Yeah.
It's pie.
Fuck, it's
Come in.
Aussies. Aussies.
Yeah.
Should have known that in my early 20s. I would have kept hot pies everywhere I would have went.
Yeah.
You know, just all the security guards would have known me and
Yeah.
allowed me in everywhere, like no problem.
Exactly.
Didn't think about that. It was too simple.
You gotta think simple when it's Aussies.
For damn sure.
Well, I gotta take a piss, so maybe we'll wrap up this.
You want to finish it up or you want to close it?
Well, we still gotta edit.
All right. Yeah, we can go for hours, I guess, and
Yeah.
have a chat, which is what's the goal.
I want to show you.
But-
I'm here to show Maor how to film a podcast, which is what we're doing right now.
How to edit.
How to have some sort of. I'm pretty sure Maor could do this. Some sort of aesthetic, like vibe happening. You know, when I got in here, it looked like a chicken coop
With no chicks.
with no chickens or chicks.
Just cocks.
Just one cock,
Just one cock.
very small.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's been a long month.
It's boiling in there. Vibe.
After
film.
that, yeah, once you get your
Edit.
vibe, you need to have the right lighting. He's done well here. We've got two lampy spotlight things happening there.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It does the job. Like,
We found this weird cube.
we've got the clear coffee.
What a mug.
And now we need
On
to
air, butterflies.
export the footage off the phone onto the laptop into CapCut, and then titles. Yeah, that's something you need to think about.
Yeah, sure. Like do an editing to it. Maybe add subtitle app to it. You know that
Yeah,
it adds subtitles to the words.
Yeah.
Those stuff, and then upload on the platforms.
yeah.
So that's the next.
That's
Part
the
of
next
it.
thing.
Yeah, first podcast. I think I'm gonna go with MFE, Maor Feinstein Experience, or Malambimbi Dreaming. Not sure. We'll let you guys know once it's out. You'll see the title.
It used to be, earlier on it was Malambimbi Madness, but now it's, since the madness has left.
That was the original weed strain of Malambimbi.
Yeah,
Like it was known Malambimbi Madness. That,
Yeah.
So Malam was known for being like a fucking big pod.
train wreck, I think. Train wreck? Was that another strain?
Maybe, but Malam Bibi madness is well known. It's like everyone like been to Malam. Oh, you want some Malam Bibi? You used to get it at Ninbin, but it
Yeah.
was
It's from Mullen.
was from Malam.
Yeah.
So Malam used to be a very, very drug addict, bogan town about 20 years ago. And all the drug dealers from around the world that wanted to escape, a lot of them were Israelis, were escaping from either rival gangs, cops, whatever,
Mhm.
somehow found their way to Malam.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, like a lot of
Is
people,
that why
up,
there's so many Israelis around here?
not just the Israelis as the drug dealers, but also the Italians and Australians and all that, and
Mhm.
the old school, old timers of Malam.
Yeah.
Also, don't want to say names, but yeah, a lot of stories that I know of that they used to get LSD from Australia and got it to LA and other way around.
True.
Yeah. And this was a big Osho place as well,
Mm.
this area. A lot of mini Osho sanctuaries,
Yeah.
Sinnyansis around,
What a,
ex-followers. Sinnyansis.
no, it's
Sannyansi?
what are they called?
Sannyansi.
Sanyata?
Sannyansis or something like that. But they had like a lot of their little mini communes. That's why there's a lot of like multiple occupancy.
Rajanis? Is that the same?
No, Rajanis. I think that was what they called the people who lived at the thing. But the followers of Osho, I think, was a Sannyansi. I'm not pronouncing it correctly.
I know. Yeah. I know what you
And
mean. I actually know that. Well, I don't know if it's a fact, but I know that those. I don't know it, but I've heard that the sannyasins
Sannyasis, yeah.
were big importers of like ecstasy.
Yeah. Like this town was Byron especially. And prior to that, Malam, just fun fact, you guys out there who's listening or heard about Malam Bimbi through the good TV show Ozarks, even in Ozarks, like the drug dealer mom was asked by the lawyer if you could go anywhere to escape, where would you go? And like, this cute town just south of Gold Coast called Malam Bimbi. Like even there, like like, in your face, they all know all the ex-drug dealers come here,
Yeah.
They'll just buy land for like dirt cheap, 50,000, 100,000 acreages, and like everyone would bring like 5K, 10K, and they'll all buy like 100 acre and turn into multiple occupancy.
Yeah.
And now it's all worth millions.
Yeah. They did well.
Yeah, because culture, money follows culture. But prior to that, Malam was a wood logging town. They would chop the wood from around here and then throw it in the Brunswick River and pick
Yeah.
it up at Brunswick Harbour and then ship it off around Australia and overseas.
Yeah.
And Byron Bay was a whale killing town.
Yeah.
They used to hunt whale hunters.
I know about the whales. Yeah.
They used to hunt whales just off Byron because now it's the migration season, but humpbacks are full up and down the coast here.
They would have been able to pick them off pretty easily.
Very easily.
Say, oh, there's one like 20 meters over there.
Yeah, basically. Easy. And
Wow.
Happy Place was where they used to butcher them. It's very, very, very...
Happy place.
So that is... Today, where like...
I know they used to butcher them at Belongil.
yeah, there used to be a
There
compound
used to
before.
be a big warehouse there.
That warehouse used to be called Happy Place.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid.
And that's where all the drug dealers were, in the little pods there.
Yeah, I remember being a kid being there. So
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny. And then in the 60s, I think it was, 50s or 60s, what happened, there was a big logging deal by the government or local government around Ninbin and this area that they gave
yeah,
to chop wood, and then all the hippies from around Australia came here and like tied themselves up to trees and stopped it, and then it just stayed.
yeah,
And then they slowly kicked out the wood loggers and the,
yeah.
and the whale killers, and it's
That's such a simplified way to explain why there's alternative community here
yeah, that's basically what happened. All the hippies came
to save
they
the
wanted
forest,
to save the forest,
There's
and like
never-
fuck, this is a great place. Like there's great surf, river, creeks,
rainforests.
rainforest. It's amazing. Why the fuck do we need to go back to Melbourne, Sydney? Like, fuck it, we'll just take over.
Stay here.
Yeah. And that's basically the birth of the Byron Shire.
I love that.
Very simplified, but it's just, and now it's all yappies. Oh,
The cycle.
yeah,
Starting, the cycle is like just like nothing, hippies, then it starts getting a bit like,
yeah, it was Bogan, like all throughout. So for Bogan, it's like redneck, to those who doesn't understand Australian slang, but old time Australians, just thick accents, good working men, nothing, and I love Bogans, don't get me wrong.
yeah,
Simple, down to earth, humans, straight on, no politically correctness.
they probably don't know what depression is.
Yeah, they're just living off the land and straight, and they got great jobs and, you know, very handy and very nice people, just
Yeah.
in general. Like, just got a bad rap to them. But that was this area, like fishermen, wood choppers, whale killers. That was this area, man. And now it's
And a
like...
piggery.
Huh?
And a piggery too.
Piggery. And now and then it became ex-Oshos, hippies, musicians, surfers, and this whole Aussie culture in Byron Bay, and that has, like you said, now we're at the end of it, where it's just rich fuckers who want to be cool. And
And then you've got Chris
Depends.
Hemsworth at the top.
I'm kind of not for him. Like, great actor, amazing guy, I guess. Probably very nice human being. Again, I never met him, so I can't say anything
Yeah.
bad about the person. But his presence here as a local, semi-local. I went to school here, grew up, went away, came back. But since his presence here and his entourage or colleagues who've came here and made it into the Byron Hollywood Hills, and it changed the whole demographic, because a lot of people want to be here, around them, surround them, and it kind of, I think the reason they came here was because they finally felt human when they were here. And what I mean by that is, like, we wouldn't approach them in the streets if we saw them. You know, Miley Cyrus was here at the time, and she would walk into the grocery store and no one would really give a fuck or ask for a selfie,
Yeah.
or Chris could go down to the local shop and buy a coffee and no one would bother him, and they would treat him equally shitty or good out at the surf, like, you know, and
Yeah.
not because no one would,
They would get cut off.
yeah.
I wonder if Chris gets cut off on the wave sometimes.
Probably, like or maybe not now, because he's been there for so long and he's become part of the sort of a local
Yeah.
surfer there. But at the beginning, yeah, like, who the fuck you think you are? For sure. Like, if you don't know, it's a locals beach, and we don't care that you some fancy fucker. Like, we don't give a shit. And that was the atmosphere here in surfing. That's why they came here, because they could, you know, like, go to a restaurant and no one was gonna bother them.
Yeah.
The waitress is not gonna ask for photos, and there's not gonna be paparazzi outside, and they could sit on the bar and no one could care less. Like, if they're like world-known actors or singers or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that what kind of drew them here, but because they came here and they came in masses, in a sense. You know, Matt Damon lives around here somewhere, apparently, sometimes. Zac Efron, all this bullshit. But yeah, you brought the people who want to see you or be seen where you are and be hip and cool and really changed.
Set the precedent.
Yeah, you said the president really changed the whole nature of this area, and people can't afford housing here. Like, I remember back in the day, Malambimbi High School was a fucking tough school. Like, most of the kids in my class were from single mom or second stepdads, and lots of half brothers and sisters between people at school, and we would get drunk very young age and drugs, and very like hot. Like, it wasn't this like beautiful picture households here. Like, kind of the opposite. I think like it was more rare to have a 2-parent household here than a single parent household back in the day.
Yeah.
And I think it was more rare back in the day that you would finish high school than not finish high school.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd get an apprenticeship or something.
yeah, like at 16, like
Yeah.
my year is like kind of the changing year in a sense. So like from the people before me, I could see it like from year when I was in year 7, 8, 9 till 10. So when I was in 7, you could see that those year 9s to those year 10s to 11s would just drop.
Mm-hmm.
So from like 100 kids in a grade would go down to 20 kids.
Yeah.
And you know, you assume that's, and then my year, most of my grade sort of finished high school.
Yeah.
And before that it was rare. Like, yeah, so many fights in the streets. Byron used to have so many fights
Oh,
in
it
the
used to be
streets.
so bad.
So many fights.
It's so tame these days.
Very. So it's like picture perfect. Oh yeah. Ooh. Like the only last place that kind of resembles Old Byron is the Rails. Like it's the last sort of place that you kind of feel or like a good death metal band at the Northern.
Yeah.
But other than that, even at the Northern, you have the piano bar, which is the dumbest thing I've seen in life. It's go to Malam on Friday night karaoke. You have more fun.
Yeah.
I swear. And like, it's like you would never think you would have something so poshy or cringe. Let's just call it what it is.
It's cringe.
It's very cringe.
It's like
Sing along songs on this big piano.
nuance cringe.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You can literally stand outside and enjoy as much than pay to go into that stupid room and stand on top of each other.
Mm.
You still hear it from outside the window right there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
It's like seems like it's a trending thing to do. Like, I'm going to go to the piano bar.
yeah, all the 18, 19-year-olds from Sydney, Melbourne, like all the smart people that come here, you know, like very intelligent people that come to enjoy Byron Bay for what it is.
Well, yeah, it's funny. At that new job I started, people are like asking me, "Are you local?" I'm like,
Nah, I'm from Lismore. I should say, nah, I'm from Lismore.
well, what they're asking, the reason they're asking is like, they're not from around here, and they're wanting to know where's good to go out. And I'm like,
Nowhere.
I'm thinking about like where I go out. It's like I never go out in town.
No, we don't. Byron used to be fun to get out in town. Like, the funnest thing in Byron used to be not to go to the bars, or it was just to go to town. Like, just the streets were so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone was like sleeping in their vans. So there's like hangouts on the vans, on the streets, or at the car park, and like,
Yeah.
and so many people used to basket before you had to get a license to basket in Byron, which is the dumbest thing I've heard. Why the fuck do you have to pay the council to play music on the street? Like, they don't make enough money to leave. You want to take more money out of their pocket, and they're not registered anywhere. You want like Byron used to be like anti-government in a sense.
Free for all, yeah.
Free for all, mini anarchy. But the moment they took the vans out of the streets, that was the downfall of Byron. Forget the lockouts and no shots, and you know, I can live with that.
Yeah.
But the moment you took the vans out, it's like the street's not fun anymore.
Mm.
You literally would go from like one side of the street to another, to one side to another, and chill with different groups and sleep on the beach and
All night.
yeah, like all weekend.
Nowadays, it's like I've been harassed by police saying you cannot park here overnight. I'm like, yeah, but we're all drunk.
Yeah, what do you want us to do?
And they're like, well, you're gonna have to move it. And we're like, and like, we ended up. It was funny.
You want me to push it?
I didn't drive, but we ended up outsmarting the police. All of us went on a group call. One of us went to the cop station. One of us here, and there was only one cop at that point driving around at the night, doing laps, and we like watched him, and then it was like, all right, go, like drive, and then like just like watching where he is, and we got out of town and got home.
That's a dumb. You know, that's the thing. It's like, we're drunk. What do you want us to drive home?
Yeah, it was like, if you don't move the car, we're gonna fine you for like having your car here. We're like, fuck.
No one's in it. Like, we're not sleeping in it. We can go home, pick it up in the morning, but yeah, it became like a nanny town. and you can really feel it. And and Malam can never be Byron because it's not the beach, and they're never going to open up bars here. They're not going to allow clubs to be in Malam. And the industrial place used to be like where all the underground parties used to be at, and you can't do that anymore because people live there and they complain to the cops where they're not allowed to live there. It really has done that full cycle from no man's land to city,
Yuppie
just
land.
yappy city land, and like the drum circles in Brunswick now, not even in Byron anymore.
It's a pretty poor effort at Byron these days.
Yeah, I try not to go in there. And that's sad, like the most beautiful beaches, like really nice cafes, like.
I guess I just don't really feel the vibe is there anymore.
Nah, it definitely isn't.
It's
Even
like,
Arts Factory is not fun.
I forgot that place existed.
That used to be the place. So you had Art Factory in the Buddha Bar. And
It used to be a institution,
yeah, like
a hub.
you would go to Arts Factory and have orgies like every other weekend. There would be literally orgies in every
Tent.
tent. Yeah. Like legit, people, you go to a bar and just stay in Arts Factory for like a week or 2 or 3 and not even leave the place,
Yeah.
because everyone's getting high and drunk and mushrooms, and you go on a road trip with someone that has a van and you come. They didn't even know who was there, Like, are you part of? Are you paying? You're not paying. I'm part of the orgy, man. Like, just gonna go in.
I'm in the orgy tent.
I'm in the orgy tent.
You
Okay,
should have told me.
You should have told me.
Yeah.
You can go in.
I'll see you there later.
See you there later. Coming in with my red band, my red undies on. But yeah, Arts Factory, like today, like they're so bitchy about no one to play music there at past 10.
Nanny state.
It's ridiculous. Like, fucking, no wonder I love Bali so much. Like, you don't feel like so nannied, Like, people telling you what to do everywhere and how to do it.
Part of my job at the new venue is to measure the decibels every hour around the premises
Fuck it, yeah.
till it closes, which is at 2 a.m. Because it's like people are complaining about like the sound on a Saturday night in town.
Fuck off.
Because they've built houses like
Right in front of it.
just out the back on that
Okay.
little strip.
Yeah, yeah.
There shouldn't be houses allowed to be built there. It's like a little sewerage and nature strip thing, swamp, and they've just stuck 4 houses there, and they're just like, oh, it's so noisy.
But don't live in the city. Don't live in the center of town.
Like right in the centre.
Yeah. Say thanks Woodies is not on.
Woodies is not on because
Then gonna build a big complex there or something.
they were, but they didn't get the DA.
Okay.
Because I'm finding out all the things.
Yeah, because that's also part of it where you're
Yeah.
working at.
They didn't get a DA, but they kicked everyone out in preparation to build there. So everyone had to leave, and like, a lot of those people like either just stopped doing business or had to find somewhere else, even though they were pretty happy.
Yeah, just tell us when we actually need to leave, when we'll go.
Yeah, but no, they didn't do that.
And Woodies can't come back? There's no talk about it? Because it's going to take them like another 2 years to get a DA at least.
Well, I think they got like denied.
Yeah, they wanted to do a huge complex with
Yeah.
apartments and
It would really
4
be
stories.
as big. It would have been a big like eyesore, just like oof.
Yeah, it's like the new Woolies is also, and in front of the new Woolies is like the same in a sense.
Next to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that one must be going through. They've got cranes in there.
it's natural, but again, our council is so stupid in so many other ways. They're trying to take down a rainforest, save Wollum. Save Wollum, guys, save it. Not because we don't need more houses, we do, but why are you going into a rainforest?
Mm.
There's so many empty farmlands all around town.
Yeah.
Like all of Mullumbimby, all of Brunswick. Like just approve on every acre you can build a house.
I know, you look around, it's just endless paddocks
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's like, why are you chopping down a rainforest? Just give them more.
Grandmother trees.
Yeah. Like,
Many.
like why? Like, that's so stupid, guys. Like, because it was approved 30 years ago, so you want to push it now?
That's the reason.
Because it's already approved for it. So
Yeah.
like, you want to cut tape, just sell that off to the government, take that money and buy someone's farm and do
Yeah.
it there.
Yeah.
Like, so much land in the back of Brunswick. So the Brunswick Hills. So basically from Uncle Tom all the way around into Brunswick, past that nature reserve, there's lots of acreage houses.
Yeah.
Just
So many.
just approve those. There's already people living there. Like, what's like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's not like there's no
Don't need to cut trees down.
possums
Nothing.
and like all these like animals that are going to lose out.
Yeah,
There might be some ants.
maybe. You know, they just say whoever's got like a cow paddock already can.
Who wants to make $1 squillion?
Yeah, like all of Mallorca, you know. Legit, all of Mallorca, the whole Mallorca road, you can just build.
Mm.
Like mini town in the just in the middle of Mallorca. Like build a Mallorca town, like just one of those big acreages.
Some of it's flood prone, but there's definitely a lot of spots that aren't in the flood, like too low. Because like when you're driving past, you can see it's just like
But even if it's flood, like there's ways around it. Sewerage, like smart sewerage and like
outlets.
outlets to the creek, you know. Like look what they did in Ocean Shores with the canal. That was all floodplain. The moment you build the canal, then like that's it.
Mm.
Like you can do the same with Billy Nigel, and you already have like a small town there. Just continue what you did in North Ocean Shores, you know. Just continue that
Yeah.
what's it called? That canal.
Now,
Yeah, and
I heard some interesting stories about the canal.
what?
That someone was flying their plane, like this is before South Golden existed. They were flying their plane and they were like, that is a perfect space for a sister resort that's situated in the United States. And they decided to like turn it into like a resort. And the canal, they're actually going to turn into like a marina and like have like another place for like yachts to come in.
They should have, because
And there
that
was,
way.
like, an airstrip. There was an airstrip, and apparently they were bringing in bulk amounts of drugs. I'm not. There's like a fucking proper book on this.
Could be. I don't know that story, but I know that when they came, so this missionaries in a sense, this Christians first came to and bought the land. So they decided that if the world goes to an end because of World War III and nuclear, this is the place that will survive.
Okay.
And they came here, and there was a few big families that owned all that property from Billy Nigel.
The Divines.
That's your family?
Well, they're not my fam. I hope they are, but same last name.
So they sold off all of Ocean Shores, and the first thing they built was the golf course. That was the first thing they came in and did, was a golf course. And it was planned out in the mind that if the world ends, this is the only place that will survive. Like global warming and all that bullshit.
Yeah, we'll have to fact check that. I've heard different stories.
Could be, but the canals but the fucked up with the canals in Ocean Shores that they blocked off the exit through Ocean Shores to the water, to the ocean. So if they would have had the canal in Ocean Shores stream off. So the reason why it gets super flooded and so dirty at the floods is because all the water from Barinbar basically
Yeah.
goes into the canal, and the canal only way out is through Brunswick.
Yeah.
So they should have had an open in South Golden
To the beach.
to the beach.
Yeah, that's what they were planning. That's what I heard.
They should have. Because it would have been made the water would have been clean.
Also, they were planning to do whatever you see at South Golden all the way up to like Wuyong and into there. But the hippies came in and saved it, and that's what the Billy Nudgel Nature Reserve is.
Oh, so why not, guys?
What?
Should have continued it.
God.
Back then, yeah, man. Like continue back then before all the tree huggers. You would have had space. Like I get it, we've done, but right now that's why one of the reasons that the house prices are so high here. You can't build more. Like, you just can't.
Mm-hmm.
And a few families sitting in Malambimbi at the front with their huge acreages.
Dude, Tiagra. There's like a massive property there where the fire went through.
Yeah, but that's a cult. That's a cult lives there.
Cult?
Yeah, a few cults live in Tiagra, like sex cults.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, a few like very shady cults like live there. But yeah, man, Tiagra is another beautiful spot. Like, but also now they're building in the floodplains of Byron, which let's see what happens in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, our council is like so dumb. Just allow all the.
I had like a theory how to solve it a little bit. Letting properties build another house without like so much red tape, as long as it's for residential and not Airbnb.
Even if it's for Airbnb. Even not just in every acreage, not every house title build another. Every title gets to build another house. You can build a house on every acre as long as it is connected to the road and has its own sewerage and electricity off grid.
So it'd pretty much be an estate-ish on someone's property.
Yeah.
Like a kibbutz.
Why not? That's all this multiple occupancy stuff.
Yeah.
So instead of doing multiple occupancy, then you can't really sell it. Pay X amount of money if you want to get the title, like different title for each house, right? You have 20 acres, you want to get 20 different titles. Sweet. If you want to make money, profit off that, yeah, pay the council whatever you want to pay for subdividing.
Yeah.
But if they don't want to subdivide and they want to have multiple properties of income, which is for rent, just make sure they're building off-grid houses.
Mm-hmm.
You have enough water that comes through here, so that takes of your water tank, or you have spring water. You have solar and batteries today for energy. If you know that can take care of things. So,
yeah.
And have
septic
and backup generator. Like, there you go. Just allow the market to decide what people want to do on their houses. And anyone living like 2 kilometers from a CBD, like all of the front of Malam and stuff like that, allow them to build more than you're allowing right now.
Yeah.
Like even here on Mainam, like up till the Mainam school, you can build another like 1,000 houses. Like, it's not flooded.
Yeah.
Like,
it's weird. It's like someone has like a 50-acre property. It's like only one house.
yeah. What is he gonna do there? Like by himself? Like, allow him to build 50 houses.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I reckon that would really help the situation. I'm sure there'd be a lot of people that have rebuttals to it.
But you're not hurting anyone. Oh, you're saturating the market right now is saturated. So instead of having it saturated, like over flooded, then like supply and demand, like there's
then rent
a lot
goes
of
down and we go back to how we were.
Yeah.
Rather than like
Yeah.
thousands of people like trying to find one house.
Yeah, it's super hard to find a house here.
Yeah, I was very lucky. Luckily, I work.
But back in the day, single mums could rent a house on the Centrelink pension and rent out the rooms and live such a happy life here.
Yeah.
Like, such a happy life. Now, no fucking way. You know, like $1,000 for a 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. All right, my friend.
It was beautiful chatting, Ma'o.
Thank you. First podcast on the MFE.
MFE, the Clit Commander.
The Clit
Commander.
Commander.
Clip Commander.
Clip
Yeah.
Commander.
Sometimes I say it wrong, I don't know. Accidents.
In charge of the clips. That's a wrap.